Hello there, good people of the world. Welcome to another Flight Sim Safari video. This is the fourth and final video of the series about the PNG bush strip packs from Kinhall. There have been three videos before covering the older bush strip packages that were also released for 2020. But this particular pack here is, as far as I know, only being released for Flight Sim 2024, and it is supposed to make good use of some of the latest, let's call them advancements. There is nothing really advanced about 2024 when it comes to performance and reliability and all that, but they do seem to have some improvements when it comes to the SDK and the kind of interaction that you can have with your add-ons with Flight Simulator 2024. So they're telling us that they're for airports Gema, Wuyabo, Usarumpia, Sindeni AYDY, Asinuwa, and Boikoa. And it said one of the things that I criticized in the first three videos of the series was the fact that some of the not actually all of the airfields were pretty static. No animations, nothing that would suggest that it's actually a place where somebody lives. There were a couple of static models, static human models, a couple of static animals, and all that, and the huts and the little houses. They're empty. There's no furniture in them. They look pretty nice, but the amount of models that were being used are kind of limited, so you see every kind of hut at every single airport, almost basically. There's not a whole lot variety when it comes to the 3D stuff, except maybe the fences or some kind of little details here and there that are nice. But still, all in all, it's pretty repetitive, except for the actual runways, because it depends on the environment they were being put in. So, but the key features obviously are supposed to be a newly animated wildlife. I'm very interested in that. I have to tell you, I have not flown at this pack. I really conserved myself here. The excitement, if there will be some, the excitement, the novelty of it all. I did not fly it to these places yet, as you can even see on my little nav map here. We have so far. This keeps a history of everywhere that I flew in the last couple of months, actually. So we've been, I've been at Goroka a couple of times, and then we've flew, as you can see, these are where did the tracks go? Sometimes there is a bug here. So over Papua New Guinea, as you can see, they've been at all kinds of places. This were the first two, this area here were the first two packs from Kinhall. There are lots of other tracks where I flew for the bush divers community. And here, this was what I did in the last video. That was pack number 3, where we started at Nomani and ended at Simogu. So today we're going to take off from Simogu, and the first waypoint, the first airfield that we're going to take a look at is Gema airstrip. And after that, there's Wuyabo and all these fields here in quick succession. So the closest distance between two airfields actually is just 1.7 miles. So we're going to take off, turn around, and land here. So this is going to be interesting. As I said, we're going to start at Simogu, take off just 3.7 miles to Gema, and then we're going to take a look at the approach and at the scenery there. And as the description says, we are supposed to see animated wildlife So I'm gonna have to make sure that I have that I have fauna activated and possibly to ultra setting, just so we're gonna be able to see everything that's possible. There's supposed to be new character models. I'm very interested in that because the amount of models that we've seen the first three add-ons were rather where the amount was rather low. So, and significantly enhanced ground textures with improved definition and depth. We'll see about that. I'm not sure if there would be any kind of an improvement necessary, because the actual runways in all of the previous add-ons were very nice. I liked every single one of them. Highly detailed vegetation and grasses for greater environmental realism. We'll see about that. Remarkable detail in sloped rock faces, but that's not something that is special to this add-on. This is something that's just happening in FS 2024. The way mountains are modeled and the way the textures are being laid over these mountain meshes are just that much better than they were in 2020 and every single sim that came before that. So I think that's not a specific feature of the add-on, but that's something that happens in 2024 anyway. An expanded library of custom model objects, very well, very much needed if it's actually happening, because most of the objects that you can see here are there was a lot of repetition in every single on every single airport. So, and also I'm curious about that one here. There are supposed to be pilots actually with some kind of aircraft waiting or standing around. I guess they're looking at these pictures here. I would suggest that the models are still static, as they have the same kind of postures. These models are still the same. They're still feeding the animals in the same way that they did before. So I would say that the human models are still static, but maybe we're going to be able to see some moving animals. That would be nice. Nice improvement. Okay, so ready to fly. Reset the view and get into the plane. I'm going to fly the Kodiak again. My one and really only true love. But let's take a look at the settings. Go to graphics, global rendering quality, and see. Make sure that we activate ultra fauna. I hope my computer is going to be able to deal with that. I would say that it is, but I have not the highest spec PC here, so we'll see about that. First of all, let's get this show in the air. Turn on the avionics and electronics. Start up the engine. There we go. Oopsie daisy. Come on. Move. NG is at 20. We can introduce the fuel. Turn off the artificial horizon to gain a couple of FPS. I'm not even gonna bother with GPS here, because it's not necessary. It's just so close. The temperature looks good. Turn off the starter and ignition. Auxiliary fuel pump on standby. Prop full forward. So we should be good to go, but we're gonna switch to GPS anyway. I don't even need heading mode for this. Looking at little nav map here, we're gonna take off. I'll point the nose to the east, and then we're gonna be able to see Gema instantly. I guess there's not gonna be able, and we're not gonna have any trouble to actually find this airfield. So, looking at the runway slope, I would suggest, you can see it right there. We start from this point here and roll down the runway and gain speed instantly. So this should be a piece of cake. are the last words that the pilot said. Takeoff trim. No, we can leave it at that, really. Then we're going to set the altimeter. There we go. High idle, flaps to 20. And I'm not going to bother with ATC again because there's nobody here anyway, and save tensions doesn't really help with any of this. Okay, let's make a really tight turn here to not hit the other airplane. So point in the right direction. So after takeoff, we're gonna climb a little bit, I guess, to like 6. No, we're gonna have to climb even more than that. There are a couple of options which we can use to approach the airfield. I have to hit the parking brake here. Stop. Rolling. Crying out loud. There's no valley that makes this airfield more accessible. So I would suggest that we're just going to climb over this ridge and then take a look at the airfield from above, as we do usually, and then decide which runway to land. The weather situation is interpolated. The weather information for this airstrip is interpolated from a couple of other airfields around in the vicinity, but it says that all runways are good for takeoff and landing. So we're just gonna take a look at what might be a good choice for this airfield, because I haven't landed there at all, not even before I actually installed the add-on. So Simogo, the airfield that we're at right now, we're taking a look at this in the last video, so we're not going to review that again. We're just going to take off. Take off, left turn, climb as quickly as possible. Fly it directly to the east, and then we're going to be able to see Gema instantly, I would say, once we have crossed that ridge. Increase the power, wait for the torque to build up, and she wants to go already. Release the parking brake, might be a good idea. There we go. And pull back on the yoke. We're at 80 already. Yeah, I know. Raising the flaps to 10 degrees. Taw's off because we don't need it right now. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not going to make a left turn, but a right turn. So climbing above, raise the flaps fully. Climbing above that ridge should not be a problem at all. Trim the nose up a little bit. Let's zoom in a little here. Rather, zoom out a little. There is the airport of Gema. We can see it on the radar already. Reset the rudder trim. Yeah, clearance is good enough, I guess. Trim the nose down because we don't need to climb any further. So let's see where we could actually, where the runway is. I cannot yet see it. Where is it? This might be the runway here. So let's do a flyover, reduce the speed. Yep, I would say this is the runway. It's a little hidden behind these trees, but there is quite a bit of runway available. It's sloped quite a bit, so landing there should not be an issue at all, even if we're too fast, because we can slow down rolling up the hill. So the runway looks nice. No obstacles in sight. The approach should be easy. There are a couple of huts there. We can park at the end of the slope. Let's make a left turn in this valley here. Lower the flaps to 10 degrees. Let's lower them to 20 already. So now we're pointing in the opposite direction of the runway, so we can do a, as you can see, so we can do a 180 left base. Right now we're downwind, left downwind, and then we're going to turn left and make left base right now. And once we're below 100 knots, we can start to fully lower the flaps here. Make sure we don't go below 70 knots for the approach, because as I told you in the last video, once you have a slope runway, you're going to have some extra speed to fly uphill before you flare. That's just the way it is. You cannot possibly cheat physics. So we're slowing down, as you can see. And the slope is quite significant, really. Now I need to follow my own rules, not go below 70 knots here. Dude, that's quite a slope. Holy moly. I don't even need the reverser. This thing is almost stopping instantly. No, it's going downhill. No, it's not. There's a level. This is level. So that's a nice airfield. I like it. The airstrip itself, I mean. Okay, so there are people standing here. Let's park here and take a look at the surroundings. Lower the fuel, blah blah blah, to the condition lever to low idle. Put in the parking brake and step out of the plane, go into the drone view, and take a look around. So this is what the add-on said. We have a couple of pilots and a bit of oh, there is animation with the animals. Look at that. Awesome. At least a little bit of variety, and it looks a little bit more alive. Such an idiot with a drone view. Of course, the people are not moving, but the animals are animated a little bit. I'm not sure if this animal is supposed to be here at this particular place in the wilderness. I believe it belongs somewhere in a river or close to a river. It's cute, but it doesn't belong here. Not at all. I don't know what what this is supposed to do here. The goat, on the other hand, is right where it belongs. So he's smiling, he's having a good time. She's smiling, she's having a good time. All of them. I believe this model is new, and she's new here. And the fact that somebody's standing out and about here at the airfield, at the aircraft, that's also new. But other than that, the actual aircraft model is not really that much better than the previous one. I think at least the the windows are transparent, because in the I think in the other models they were not. But still, I guess the addition is okay. So let's take a look at the actual at the surroundings here at the huts. They're still empty, no furniture in them. A couple of new. I'm not sure about the models themselves. Oh, let's see. Well, these models are still not animated. These are the cocks and hens that have been around on every single airport in every single pack. So they're not animated, but these guys did. Yeah, even the pigs are not animated. I cannot possibly imagine that you wouldn't be able to find some animated pig out there. But still, I appreciate the fact that Ken added a couple of animals that seem to be... Oh, look at that slope. For crying out loud. This has got to be the steepest slope in the entire pack so far. It's awesome. It's fun. It should be easy to take off from. Are there Oh, yeah. There are some animated animals. That's nice. I guess they're not going to run away when my plane comes close to them. The original animals in the flight simulator, if you're encountering them in the wild, they're going to run away from a noisy plane, but these guys are probably just standing around. But it's nice that they're animated. I like that. So anything else special going on here? Is that a chicken? Are these guys animated? Yes, they are. We've got some cows here. They're stuck in an animation loop, I would say. They're not going to move around. But still, it looks more alive. That's awesome. Yeah. Apart from that, I think there's not a whole lot of new things, at least not at this airport. We've seen the most important things like... Uh-oh. Something is happening. My simulator is stuck. Hello. Well, it seems that my computer just crashed on me. So I'm going to stop. It didn't entirely crash, but I had an issue with my graphics card, as it seems, and I'm going to restart the recording here. Well, I am back. I restarted the sim and all that, so we're back in the game. I don't know what happened. I guess it might have been a freak occurrence. But we'll see. If something like this happens, I probably am going to have to maybe turn down the ultra setting for the animals. I don't know. I didn't have that kind of crash before, really. Never, ever. So let's get back into the plane. Stop, turn it all off for a second. Yeah, so we're at Gema. We're gonna we have taken a look at the surroundings a couple of minutes ago, so let's get this bird restarted and then get out of here to the next airfield. NG is at 20. Introduce the fuel. Lights on. Temperature is 17 degrees. We don't need pitot heat.
Pause system test. Okay.
Forward. Okay, the next airport in the next airport coming up is Wuyabo. It's just 6 miles out to the south, to the southeast. So heading of 105 degrees might not be not necessary to activate an autopilot here. Let's quickly take a look at the surroundings of this particular airport. Seems to reside not entirely in the valley, but on some kind of plateau here. I would suggest that we approach from this side here. So runway 19er might be the preferred choice, because otherwise we're going to have some kind of a hill or ridge in the way. It might not be very appropriate to try to land on 01. We'll see. We're going to fly there, take a look at the surroundings, and then decide what's the weather like at the destination. 19er is the suggested runway anyway, and VFR conditions. And the density altitude is 8600. Okay, so tank off settings. What do we need? The altimeter. Again, we need 20 degrees of flaps as usual. We're going to need the takeoff trim. Not completely to take off. I like for the nose to come up easily. We don't need an autopilot or anything like that. We're just going to fly there manually. So let's go to high idle. Already no need to stay low, because we're going to turn right, roll down the hill, and we're going to be airborne in no time. Release the parking brakes. So the village looks nice, and I love the animated animals. But apart from that, I haven't really seen anything totally new. The models of the huts and all that seem to be pretty similar, or they're still the same. I don't know. It doesn't look different from the other airports. It still looks cool. No doubt about that. No doubt about that, because the original airports in the default airfields in FS 2024 usually don't look too great. So taking off, look at that slope. Holy cow. We're at 40, 50, 60, 70. We can pull.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Don't sink. Raise the flaps.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Yeah, stop pitching. Okay. So we're taking off, and oh, little nav map didn't connect to the sim yet. Something is up. To pause the simulator and restart the little nav map. Well, here we are. Somehow it seems to have a problem with displaying. Yes, now it works. Okay, let's make a right turn and fly through this gap here. Raise the flaps entirely. We can go down to 2000 RPM. It's a couple of miles to go, so it's actually worthwhile making that adjustment. Oh, I know. Okay, now I think we can turn to the right. And fly above that ridge here. So we're all 1/3 of the way so far. We're going to be there instantly almost. Reset the rudder trim. We can make a little left turn here. We're going to be able to see the airfield pretty soon, I guess. There it is. That is Wuyabo right there, and we're going to approach from this side. There seems to be a little lake or something down here, or a patch of forest, I don't know. So let's take a look down into the valley if we can spot anything that has the resemblance of an airfield. To the right. How fast are we going? Still good. So it should be here. There are a couple of clouds here. This is the actual runway. So, yep, let's go ahead and make a left turn. No, first of all, let's just do a little flyover, then make our left turn. Lower the flaps to 10 degrees. Yeah, that looks nice. Nice runway. The path is clear, no big deal. No obstacles in the way for the approach. Nice fences. Looks tidy from up above. Couple of huts. One big building. Another porter sitting there. Let's see. Oh, lots of buildings down there. There's a path going down into the valley. We're going to fly with a drone to these places here. This looks quite nice. And more buildings over there. And more buildings over there. Holy cow, that's a busy place. Reduce the speed, prop full forward. Lower the flaps to 20. And I'll make a left base pretty soon. Trim the nose up a little bit. So, left base, runway 19er. Make sure we don't drop below 70 knots. Where is the runway? There it is. Oh, we're a little bit to the right already. Okay. Nope, we're not. That looks good. That's the runway. No, wait a minute. It goes in that direction. I'm a little confused here. Lower the flaps to 30 degrees. And put this plane in a straight line with the airfield. Oh, there is a tree in the way. Look at that. That one needs to go. No, no, no. That's not right. You shouldn't have that kind of tree on the final approach. Short final. No, no, sir. Not cool. Not cool. So flare and touchdown. There we go. And let's park beside the porter. Ah, these guys are trying to pack up. Hit the parking brakes, go to low idle. And take a look at the surroundings here. So there's somebody here. Oh, there is some new addition. That's cool. Some new models. That looks awesome. That is a little, what is that? Is that a Baron or something? It's not a Baron. I'm not sure what kind of plane this is exactly, but it looks a bit like a Baron with the wingtip tanks and all that. And they did put in, holy cow, I need to reduce the speed here. They fly, you fool. Okay. Is that a reference to an entirely different topic, like from a certain fantasy film series? Let's see. The United States. Wait, are they? Wait a sec. Oh, come on. I need to reduce the speed of the camera here. How do I do that? Zoom level, drone speed. Here we go. Make that easier. The United States. I'm not sure what's doing here. It certainly is a nice addition because it looks nice. But in the context of this country, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Well, you know. So let's see. Are there any interesting animals? So this scenery here with the guys who are picking up stuff is nice. They're stuck in eternal... I don't know. In some kind of eternal state, staring at things. This looks like some kind of gathering place. It's kind of empty, unfortunately. But it looks like some kind of community hall, maybe? Or it's something that's still being built. Okay, a couple of huts here and there. Oh man. Is this thing? No, this might be... Because that looked like... Is that a little hut for animals that can go in and out? Because it looks like it was sunk into the ground, but it isn't. It's on purpose, as it seems. So there are guys standing around, the same old models. You know, I wouldn't have a problem with these old models if they wouldn't have said, if it wasn't advertised, if the ad one wasn't advertised as having a whole slew of new models. There might be one new guy here. I think I haven't seen that one before. At least his clothing is different. There are animals. Are they animated? Nope. These are the static models we've seen before. Also in the older add-ons. No biggie, but, you know. And now let's take a look at the some of the scenery down here. They're the same old models, all these huts. I'm not expecting anything to happen here because that's too far away from the airfield, so people are probably not going to explore this anyway. But sometimes you might find an Easter egg or two, but not in this particular case. I'm not going to take a look in each and every one of those huts. Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. It's okay, but nothing really completely fresh or new here. Okie dokie. Lots of huts here. And some, these might be classrooms for kids, maybe. Let's take a look inside. Of course, there's nothing in there. That looks like, that could be a... Is that supposed to be a window? Yes, unfortunately. I thought it might be a chalkboard for kids. Yeah, but nothing happening in these buildings. Yeah, so that's the township, the little village of Gema. Right there. I'm sorry, this is not Gema, that's Wuyabo. Alright, let's get back into the plane and take off again. What's happening with my camera? Come on. Move. There we go. So we're at runway 01. We're taking off from runway 01. And then the next destination, let's take a look at the map here. The next destination is actually, it's almost 10 miles away. That's a whole, that's a world cruise almost. The next one will be Usarumpia airstrip, right there. Well, we could actually activate the autopilot for that. Nah, we're not. And then the next couple of airfields are so close together you can almost walk there. Okay, so next destination is Alpha Yankee Uniform X-ray. I'm going to put that into the, at least in the nav, so it's easier for me to keep track of the direction. What I say, Alpha Yankee Alpha Yankee Uniform X-ray. Come on. Usarumpia, right? There we go. So we're going to have to turn around 180 after takeoff and do it. What we could do is lie canyons a little bit, as it seems. Let's take a look. Take off, turn around, make a left turn, fly through these gaps here. Stay pretty low, and then make our approach here through this valley. That might be interesting. Nice to look at. Okay. So let's take off. Flaps to 20. Altimeter setting. Trim the nose up a little bit for takeoff. There we go. Idle prop full forward. And we're good to go. Build up some torque. And away we go. That tree there looks dangerously close. Pull on the yoke early. There we go. I didn't actually roll to the end of the runway. That might have been the problem. So the takeoff distance wasn't very long. But we made it. So let's make a left turn. Raise the flaps fully. Pull back the throttle to the RPM to 2000 as usual. And then there is, let's see, which one is that is the gap that we're supposed to fly through, but we're gonna choose that one. Since the Kodiak can climb very quickly, very easily, that shouldn't be much of an issue. And we're empty anyway. So we've got like a half tank of fuel, no passengers, no cargo, not even a co-pilot. So this thing handles like a flea. Clearance is good enough. Fly over there. This is the gap that we're aiming for. fly through this and make a right turn on the other side. There are a couple of clouds here. Nothing to be afraid of, but still, as you can see right there up ahead, they might be a factor further in. So let's see how it goes. Put in some right rudder. Right, it looks like this one here is the gap that we're aiming for. Yep, we're not going to fly to the end of the valley here. We're not going to fly down there, but we're going to make a right turn and fly through this small gap here. And then drop down on the other side. So the airfield should be down here somewhere. I think this might be it. Right, looking at, yep, that's it. Or the speed. Trim the nose up a little bit. TOS is still off, that's alright. We know what we're doing, supposedly. Let's make a flyover really quick, take a look, and then do a right circuit, right base, and approach the airport from this side. Airfield, I should say. Airstrip, even better. Unimproved mess. Dirt patch, possibly. So let's peek out the window. Put my face right into the fumes. Yeah, that looks nice. That looks like a nice little village down there. They did do some work on this strip. It looks nice. There is another plane. They cut down the trees as far as I can make out. They cut away the trees, so the approach is going to be clean, I guess. The runway is not that long, but since we're empty, it doesn't really matter. So let's fly here, make a right turn. Lower the flaps already. As you can see, there's another airstrip down here. We're going to fly to that one as well. That's not the destination that we're looking at right now, but that's also one that we're going to land at. So it's just a really short hop. Yep. There we go. Oopsie. That's also one of the Ken Hall ones. Lower the flaps fully. We're still a little too fast, and prop full forward for the final approach. Let's not drop below 70 here, right? Bring the nose down a little bit. Oh man, I'm making a mistake here. Okay. Caught it.
Stall.
Oh, that wasn't good. That was not a good landing. What was that? Oh, look at the plane. That is a Grand Caravan, I would say. Yep. Dude, that was some shit landing. I haven't had that for quite a while. What a mess. We do have a bit of a slope here, but not too bad. Okay. Low idle. Laps to 20 once we take off. And take a look at the airfield. At the surroundings here. Oh, dude. Where did my camera go? It seems to remember its relative position to the airplane. So I'm parking right there, I would say. Yeah, let's take a look. There are a couple of huts, of course, as usual. Nicely arranged. Nicely arranged rocks and all that. So the huts are still empty. Also at this place, a couple of fences, runway markings and all that. There are animals. There are some static models, as usually. There's a cock sitting on one of those shelters. These guys are having fun. There's my plane. There's the Grand Caravan being loaded up with stuff. We can hear some mooing from cows. There are a couple of animated animals. So, supposedly, some of the faces of the pilots here belong to the 42 community. That's what it said on the website. So, these faces have been mapped onto the 3D models. So, it was a community effort. Right, they're loading up stuff. We've got some nice more models here. There's a cool mountain bike, and these guys look happy. And there's another issue of, I'm sorry, of the aircraft, some kind of aviation magazine. Oh, what is that? Some electronic stuff. Looks like cables of some sort. That's a workbench. Nice. And a ladder. And actually a new set of textures for the clothes. I haven't seen the blue ones before, I think. So here are the moving animals, the animated animals. They're eating stuff. A couple of goats. Nice. And a cow, which is mooing. It looks okay. There are a couple of fuel drums, and one more bicycle. So it's not bad. It's quite a little improvement, I would say. A couple of new 3D, some more decoration items. I like that. It looks nice. So maybe Ken is considering to add some additional models, maybe even to the older packs. That would be awesome. It would really increase the value of the older packs that were originally created for for Flight Simulator 2020. So let's get back to setup here. 20 degrees of flaps. Again, reset the altimeter. Go to high idle, props full forward. Everything else checks out. Reset the rudder trim, or put in some rudder trim for takeoff, about 50% right rudder. Sometimes I forget that. It becomes more important the heavier the plane is, and the more you need to compensate for the left pull of the strong engine. So, take care, guys. Goodbye. End of the review for you. Okay. Line up. Okay, let's make a quick check and see where we need to go after takeoff. Because the next runway is so close, as I said, you can actually walk there. So that was the one with just 1.9 miles. Oh, we lost the GPS markings because we flew over each one of those. So this is the one we're looking at, Ande Airstrip. Alpha Yankee Alpha Delta. So after takeoff, we're going to turn left. This is very close. We're going to take off, turn left. We don't even raise the flaps. We're just going to fly there. And I think we can approach from this side. There's not a whole lot that's keeping us from just taking off and landing right again. Okay? So take off, make a left turn. I should keep this visible here. And then off to the next airfield. Let's build up some torque. Here we go. Zoom in a little. There's 40, 50, 60, and pull back. As I said, we're not even going to raise the flaps. No need for this. I'm just going to fly over to the other airport. Make a left turn. So there it is. Look at the amount of airports and this rather small space here. So down there it is. That is easy, really. Lower the flaps fully. We might be a little too fast for the approach. We're not gonna do a flyover. This is, I mean, would be silly. We can do that with a drone, but still. Oh man, am I getting another knockout here from the graphics card? No, it doesn't seem like it. Trim the nose up a little bit. Let's not make the same mistake again. Keep the speed up above 70. Not that much, but still somewhere close to 70. Here we go. That wasn't good at all, what I just did there. Somehow I lost it. So there's a porter and a couple of guys waiting. We're going to roll to the end of the runway because we're going to take off from there anyway. We've got a bit of a slope. Nothing dramatic, but still something to take into account. Turn around. And put in the parking brake real quick. Low idle. Oh, usual routine. activate the drone camera. Here we go. Track IR off. So there are usual set of huts. Now the interesting part, I guess, always is the place where the pilots sit and take care of the planes. The cock is sitting on the wheel here. Funny. He's discussing the price. He doesn't want to pay as much as the pilot suggested. Another kind of what's it called? Bicycle. A pretty old model, not ideally suited for terrain like this, but you know. Okay, so what else? Do we have somewhere animated animals somewhere? Oh, there might be something. Yeah, these models seem to be animated. Yep, all of them. He's a little sleepy as it seems, but he's moving. And these one are as well. What's happening with him? He's eating. Some more huts. Looks fairly realistic to me what's happening there. So it's quite nice. Some more huts down there. Oh, what's this? A couple of mini hangars for the animals. What are these here doing? What are these doing here? There's not even some kind of fence around this. But it's nice, I guess. So the pigs can roam around and find some shelter if there is some kind of rainstorm coming up. Well, I like it. It's a nice little airfield. That's all right. Let's get back into the plane. And Ande airstrip. Okay. So the next one is going to be Sindeni. Right? And Sindeni is right over there. This is it. So we're just going to take off and land over there. This might be Sindeni. Okay. 20 degrees of flaps. Let's put in some rudder trim, some elevator trim for takeoff. I idle, prop full forward. Reset the altimeter, and we're good to go. Release the parking brake. Increase the torque to the maximum amount possible without breaking the engine. Here we go. Let's not go into the red if it's not necessary. Into the yellow if it's not necessary. This value here. Let's still leave it green. 60. Pull back on the yoke. Here we go. So let's see. Yep, that's the airstrip. It's funny. We don't even need to accelerate a whole lot. Let's lower the flaps. To 30 degrees already. And lower the speed, go to somewhere at 75 knots. Oh, I need to accelerate quite a bit because we're hitting a sloped runway here. Okie dokie. Set the rudder trims. Something is a bit off here. So there is another porter waiting for us. So that's the end of the runway. Let's turn around and set up for the takeoff once we're done here. Low idle. Set the parking brake. And get out of the plane. Turn off trigger. So I can hear some mooing. There are some animals here, and these ones are the animated type. Oh, he's about to. Is that guy about to? Well, the model was not really meant to hold a lawnmower, but Ken tried to arrange it as nicely as possible so that it seems he's holding it. Good effort. So is he really gonna mow the grass on this? Oh, memory. See, there's somebody flying here. Is there? He's gonna have a whole lot of work ahead of him. Okay, and these guys are. There's another pilot here from the community. And a treasure chest. Awesome. I wonder what's in there. Let's take a closer look. But I have a strong feeling that it's going to be empty, right? Oh, come on. Do I really need to slow down the camera? Yes, I do. Jones speed down to maybe 3. That should work. Let's take a closer. Yeah, it's empty, as I thought. Unfortunate. That would be a nice Easter egg to put in something there. Yeah, back to business. New fuel drums. They look awesome. Not the rusted shit that you usually get. So that looks nice. He's flying in a Piper Dakota. Okay. Yep, a couple of people. I'm not sure if this is a new model. It doesn't look familiar to me. I don't remember having seen it before, but I think it's empty. Yes, it is. And there are animals. This is the non-animated type. But I heard some mooing, so there's somebody feeding. Oh, look at that. There's a new model. Some kind of tower. Okay, awesome. I'm thankful for every little change. Okay, these are our usual models. So we've got this special guest here tonight. Memory C# with the Piper, the Dakota. It actually looks like a, I'm not sure. Is that really a Piper? Anyway. Nice place. I have, oh yeah, there are the animated animals. And look at this awesome arrangement here. This is cool. And these are, I'm not sure if these guys here belong to this place, but this is, what are the guys called from Lion King? The little one is called, no, I only know the German translations, Pumbaa and something. So this is Pumbaa, I think. And there's a goat. All that. So this looks really cool. This is a nice place. I love that. And that as well. So this particular spot here, this airfield is the nicest one so far from all of the series, from all of the add-on ones I've seen so far. Awesome. And that might be a new model as well. That's a church. That's a mission mission, a building belonged to the missionaries, maybe. So nice, awesome, good effort. Should have put in more effort like this, because this really makes it feel alive and more realistic. So activate track IR again. And take off. The next runway. So we're going to roll down the hill, make a right turn, and go to the airfield of Asinuwa. It's also 2 miles away. So, but I'm not sure from which direction we're going to approach this. We'll see. We'll see. So let's go there. Make a maybe 120 degrees right turn, but we're going to be able to stay at the altitude. So it's about the same altitude as Sindeni here. Flaps to 20, high idle, prop full forward. Trim is good. Let's go. Release the parking brake. $60, $70, rotate. Put in some red rudder. Raise the flaps 1 notch. Not much further. There's no need to do that. So let's make a right turn here. I heard a cow. Up here in the air, there is no, obviously, it doesn't really, it's not able to simulate the distance. I should not be hearing cows up here inside a plane. So there, right there, on top of this ridge here, on this place, there should be the runway. Let's do a flyover and take a look at it. I guess it's going to be a sloped runway, but sloped from the other side. I hear even more animals. Yep, that looks good. It's a slope runway, and we should approach from the other side, I guess. And there is another porter waiting for us. That one looks also very tidy, very nice, very clean, easy to approach. They cut away all the trees, awesome. So let's reduce the speed. Lower the flaps to 20 degrees, trim up the nose a little bit. Make a steep left turn, a tight left turn, I should say. I still can hear the cows mooing all the time. Flaps to 30 degrees. We're low already, so increase the power a little bit so we can climb back to an appropriate altitude for approach. Here we go. There is still a bit of vegetation in the way, but nothing major, so the approach should be easy. Let's not drop below 70, not drop below 70. Keep the speed up, keep the speed up. Reduce the power to 0, and there we go, flare. Put in some reverse. Throttle, that was okay-ish, I guess. Let's park up over here. There are some more animated animals, I would say. These look alive, but they're not running away. They don't fear the pilot man. Okay, low idle. Low idle, low idle, low idle. Yep, let's make sure I'm not going to cut off the fuel here. No need to do that. One of the reasons why I am going to low idle here, just instead of turning off the engine entirely, is the fact that once you turn off the engine, you should let it cool down a bit. But most of the time, we're just like 5 to 10 minutes at least. Most of the time, we don't need that long to take a look at the airfield or the surroundings. So I'm just going to let the engine run. It's better for it to not turn it off and turn it on all the time. That's not something that the turboprop engines like. If we've would have flown the Islander, that would not have been a problem, because the Islander with its piston engines was designed to be turned off and turned on quickly in short intervals. But the Kodiak doesn't like that. So, of course, in real life, this is a sim. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to behave like it would be real life. So here is some more animal loveliness, some animated stuff here. Yeah, really. A small baby calf. I'm not sure what it's called in English. These are haggling again. And that's not a porter. This is a Cessna. Yeah, I'm not sure which model. It might be a Cessna. Let me think. A 70, maybe? I don't know. These geese here are not animated. People, of course, neither. But these one here. These ones are alive. That's also a nice little, tidy little village. I like it. I like it. Pretty static as usual, but there's a pig. Some more animals. This one is actually alive. These two here. No. That one is static, but this one is alive. Okay. At least somebody who still lives in the scenery. They should put up some solar panels on the roof of their houses. I think that Ryan, the missionary bush pilot, sometimes is doing some kind of Kickstarter. No, it's not called Kickstarter, but some fundraiser for people here to be able to get some solar panels and get some energy. So, hey, stop rolling. I did not release the parking brakes. So, actually, taking a look at the schedule and the flight plan here, we're approaching the last airport of this entire series. Let's take a look at the website real quick. The last one in the row was Boikoa, and that's the one that we're heading to. So, last flight, last airfield. Only 2-point-something miles away, right ahead of us. We take off, we're going to be able to see it instantly. Bailoa. So, I would expect that we're going to have to approach runway 35, because there is something in the way here. Okay, so one more time. High idle, prop full forward, flaps to 20. Takeoff trim is still good. Let's put in some right rudder. This time I didn't forget it. And everything else checks out. Reset the altimeter. Nothing happened. Let's go. Let's build up some torque. And away we go. We don't even have to climb because I would say there is the runway right there. So yeah, it seems like we're gonna make a left turn here and a right base and then land again. Reset the rudder trim, lower the speed. We're still at 20% flaps, that's all right. You know what? We're going to make a quick flyover and make sure that that we know how to approach this properly. If there is anything in the way that we need to deal with, I would not expect that because it looks pretty clean. But let's do one flyover. They cut away the trees here, so the approach should be easy to do. No big trees in the way. Nicely arranged fences here. It's got a bit of a right curve, right, so we're gonna have to put in some right rudder while landing. There's a helicopter. Nice. Okay, so should not be a big deal to land there. Let's stay at this altitude. I think these buildings around here still belong to the scenery of the airfield. And here we go. Okay, I think we can begin to make our turn to right base. Lower our speed a little bit. Drop the flaps to 30 once we're below 100 knots. Come on, baby. Slow down. There it is. There's the runway. 30. Here we go. This is Boikoa. Sit up straight so I can take a look above the bonnet. No, yeah, the bonnet, the bonnet, the bonnet, the bonnet, the bonnet, the bonnet. We need to lose speed here. There we go. Stay above 70. No stalling today. Above 70, please. Yep, there we go. And flare. Yep. Raise the flaps and find our parking spot here, because we're not going to take off again. That was it. Here we are. Let's turn around. Okay, we can turn off, shut down the engine. cut off the fuel. Turn off the lights. All that shit off. Doop, doop, doop. There we go. Parking brake is set. Let's get out of the plane one more time. Turn off truck IR. So here we are. Nice spot for parking. And let's take a look at the village. Quite a steep slope here. Oh, that's a nice house. I like that. But it's empty, of course. Yeah. Not bad, not bad. Not bad. Looks pretty similar. But I'm really interested in the helicopter here. It looks like some bell, right? I'm not familiar with helicopters. And he's standing. This is something that I wouldn't do. I would have picked that place to put the helicopter down. It might be a bit difficult due to the trees. But he's standing there on the slope. These guys are also, he must be tipping over. Anyway, it's nice to have some faces here. This is also one of those guys who belongs to the community, I guess. So, some living animals. Look at that. Nice, nice. So what would I say? Looking at what's been happening during the last couple of hours flying and all these add-on packs, it's clear to me that the last pack here, really is the best. It's the most modern. It contains the most variety when it comes to models and at least some little bit of animation. It's also the only one that was only released, as far as I know, for 2024. So it seems to make a little bit of it seems to be able to profit from some of the abilities that 2024 has over 2020. But overall, I have to say that I would have wished for a little bit more variety when it comes, especially when it comes to the housing, when it comes to the huts, models, and stuff like that. I mean, we're paying for each one of those pack. The first pack is the most expensive, considering that it only it's got the least bang for the buck, because it's $14, but only 4 airstrips. So if you want to collect, if there's one airstrip in the first pack that you really need to have for some reason, then you're gonna have to pay the pack, I guess. But of all the packs, I would say the last one, number 4 here, is actually worth the money. All of the other packs, 1, 2, 3, they don't feel as, they're okay. I mean, there's the scenery, it looks nice, but it's static, and there's a lot of repetition, as I said. And I would take all 3 packs together if I had a choice, and pay like $15 maybe. That would be appropriate, in my opinion. But all in all, for all of those packs, you're gonna have to shell out 14 times 4, which makes $56. I'm having a hard time accepting that value. So this is it. You've seen all 4 of these. You've seen all of the airports of all 4 packs. I commend the effort from Ken. Keep on going. I think you're doing really awesome work. I like the runways. I like the fact that most of these airfields are really approachable, and that the surface looks good, and it feels like it's part of the surroundings. You've done a good job of kind of creating a little space here with all these villages. But I would love for you to enhance the packs with some more animation and some added variety when it comes to textures and all that. So keep on going. But if I would say that for people who are looking for add-ons, maybe first take a look at the freeware add-ons on flightsim.to and see if that's good enough for you. Some of these free add-on airfields are even better than the payware add-on from Ken. But we'll see, and so that's it for today. I hope you have a good time, and I'll see you on the next couple of videos. Take care. Take good care of yourselves in these weird times.